In this video, we will explore one of the most significant and bold decisions of the Catholic Church in recent times. Pope Leo XIV grants full power to Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, an action that not only reformulates the Vatican dynamics, but also prepares the terrain for profound changes in the Church. Who is Cardinal Tagle? What led Leo XIV to trust her so much responsibility? And how does it impact the leadership of the Catholic Church? In this script, we will reveal the history and context of this strategic decision, the role of Cardinal Tagle in the modern Church, and the impact of it on the clergy and the faithful around the world. With clarity and depth, let's look at Pope Leo XIV's history and Cardinal Tagle's profile, exploring how this partnership shapes the future of the Catholic Church. How does the decision to give Tagle full power reflect a new phase in Vatican governance? What does this mean to the Church and the global Catholic world? Get ready for a reflection on power, leadership, and the challenges this change brings to all of us. Stay with us to understand this historical transformation and the legacy being built. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle is one of the most prominent figures of the modern Catholic Church, with a history that reflects not only dedication but a progressive view and a leadership capacity that resonate with the Church in the 21st century. Born on June 21, 1957, in Manila, Philippines, Tagle showed early on a strong inclination to religious life and a natural ability for theology. He completed his ecclesiastical studies at the Pontifical Gregorian University in Rome, and was soon recognized for his deep knowledge of Catholic doctrine and his ability to communicate clearly and accessible. His appointment as a cardinal in 2012 by Pope Benedict XVI was a confirmation of his growing impact within the Church. Tagle has a church vision very focused on the contemporary world, especially with regard to social justice, interreligious dialogue, and church performance in developing countries. Since 2011, he has occupied Manila's archbishop position, where she is widely respected by her pastoral approach and her ability to connect the Church with pressing social issues, especially poverty and inequalities. His leadership is distinguished by empathy, concern for the well-being of the neediest populations, and their commitment to modernize the Church while maintaining fidelity to its roots. Pope Leo XIV's decision to grant total power to Cardinal Tagle was historical and strategic, reflecting a view of modernization and revitalization of the Catholic Church. Leo XIV, aware of the challenges of the modern world and changes in political and social dynamics, understood that a new approach to Vatican leadership was necessary. With the growing complexity of international issues, as well as the desire of a more accessible, inclusive, and relevant Church, Leo X saw in Cardinal Tagle the ideal leader to assume a more central role in administration and relations with the outside world. This decision was not only a confidence in Tagle's talent and skills, but also a clear sign that the Catholic Church needed a renewed and more proactive voice. By giving Cardinal Tagle full power, Leo XIV has delegated not only an administrative authority, but also the ability to act on crucial issues involving the Church globally. This movement also indicated the Pope's intention to strengthen the Church's presence in more contemporary and challenging contexts. Tagle, with his theological formation and deep pastoral experience, was ready to face the modern dilemmas of the Church, balancing tradition with the urgent needs of a transformed society. With this, Leo XIV sought to create an environment where Church leadership could be more dynamic, more focused on practical action, and less centralized in a single figure. Pope Leo XIV's decision to give Cardinal Tagle full power is deeply rooted in a vision of adaptation of the Catholic Church to the demands of the modern world, without losing its essence. Leo XIV, who ruled a Church in a period of growing secularization and global challenges such as social and political issues, knew that a new kind of leadership was necessary to deal with those times. Tagle's choice reflects not only a confidence in the cardinal, but a long-term strategy to ensure that the Church remains relevant and attentive to the needs of God's people, especially in the neediest regions. One of the main reasons behind this decision was the need for modernization of the Church. Leo XIV recognized the urgency of integrating the Church into current social and political issues, something Tagle, with its history of inclusive and innovative leadership, was more than able to implement. His ability to dialogue with various cultures and their commitment to social justice align perfectly with the guidelines of a papacy focused on transformation and global solidarity. Tagle also represents a break with certain traditionalist standards, bringing a more open, inclusive, and mercy perspective on mercy, something that aligns with the challenges that the Church faces in the contemporary global context. The total power granted to Cardinal Tagle by Pope Leo XIII is not only an administrative responsibility, but also an important milestone in redefining the role of the Catholic Church in the modern world. With Cardinal Tagle, the Vatican now has a figure capable of dealing with contemporary issues in a dynamic way and a global view. Tagle is not limited to the internal management of the Church, but assumes a crucial function in representing the Catholic Church in an era of global interconnections, complex social issues, and new moral and spiritual challenges. His experience in various parts of the world and its focus on the development of the Church in various cultural and social contexts make it an ideal leader to represent the Vatican in an increasingly globalized scenario. Moreover, its sensitivity to the issues of the poor and marginalized reflects a pastoral direction that sees the Church as an active force of social and political transformation. His appointment to a major role is also a way of strengthening the Church's bond with the social and cultural reality of the 21st century, seeking concrete solutions to the dilemmas faced by the world population, without losing the principles of Catholic faith. Cardinal Tagle thus becomes a key piece for the papacy of Leo XIV, and for the Church as a whole, not only for its administrative capacity, but also for its ability to unite theology, pastoral and social action in a context of rapid global changes. Leo XIV's decision to give Cardinal Tagle full power has profound implications for the clergy and the faithful of the Catholic Church around the world. At the ecclesiastical level, this change reflects a movement to decentralize papal authority, transferring more autonomy to local and regional leaders, such as Cardinal Tagle, which has a closer view of the local and social realities of communities. This can lead to a more agile, more responsive, and more inclusive Church, capable of adapting to the specific needs of each region. For the faithful, this change promises a Church more connected with the daily issues of their lives, especially in developing countries, where social, political, and economic issues often shape religious experience. Tagle, known for his focus on social justice, can inspire a new generation of Catholics to be more actively involved in the issues that affect their communities, while preserving spirituality and the fundamental values of the Church. However, this change can also generate discomfort in some more conservative Church segments, which can see Cardinal Tagle's greatest autonomy as a threat to the status quo. In any case, the role of Tagle as a renewal and adaptation figure will be decisive for the future of the Catholic Church. With the total power given by Pope Leo XIV, Cardinal Tagle not only assumes a leadership role, but becomes a symbol of reform in the Catholic Church. His vision for the Church is clear: an institution more open to dialogue, social inclusion, and the development of a theology closer to the realities of the contemporary world. The reform that Tagle promotes is not only administrative, but theological and pastoral. He believes that the Church needs to go beyond the Vatican walls and get more directly involved with the world's problems, such as poverty, social inequality, and environmental crises. Cardinal Tagle has been a defender of a Church that stands alongside the marginalized, who faces social issues actively, and at the same time preserves the fundamental principles of Catholic faith. Under its leadership, the Church can strengthen its role on topics such as human rights, worker dignity, and the promotion of peace. Tagle's governance promises to be a collaborative leadership model, where local bishops and priests will have more autonomy to act according to the needs of their communities, with the support of the Vatican's central structure. Its management will be a reflection of the decentralization trends, which will mark a new phase in the history of the Catholic Church. The relationship between Pope Leo XIV and Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle is marked by deep confidence and collaboration. Leo XIV, when granting Tagle total power, demonstrated not only a strategic choice but also a relationship of mutual respect that transcends traditional Vatican authority barriers. Pope's confidence in Tagle reflects an alignment of visions for the Catholic Church, especially regarding the need to adapt the Church to contemporary challenges, such as globalization, social changes, and economic issues. By giving Cardinal Tagle a larger authority, Leo XIV trusts that he has the ability to deal with urgent issues and to create a more inclusive and open Church without losing their essence and doctrine. Moreover, this working relationship between the Pope and the Cardinal Tagle is a reflection of the desire to renew the Church, to build bridges between different cultures and contexts, and to act more authentically, without the obstacles of traditional structures. Pope Leo XIV recognizes in Tagle not only a great leader, but also someone who can generate the necessary changes for the Church to remain relevant in the 21st century. The impact of this decision by Leo XIV to give total power to Cardinal Tagle will be deep to both the clergy and the faithful. For the clergy, change can be seen as a chance of greater autonomy and participation in decision-making, with less centralization of power in the Vatican. Tagle, with his pastoral approach and focus on dialogue and inclusion, will probably create a new dynamic in the clergy, encouraging more active and conscious engagement on social issues, as well as evangelization. Your experience and ability to deal with different cultures and social contexts will allow the Church to get even closer to the local realities and worries of the people. For the faithful, the decision brings the promise of a Church more connected with their daily needs. Cardinal Tagle, known for his work with the most needy populations and his inclusive vision, can transform the way the faithful relate to the Church, making it a more alive and relevant presence in their lives. The greatest decentralization of power and the emphasis on a pastoral proximity can make the faithful more involved, feeling active part of a movement that seeks a social and spiritual transformation in the world. Although Leo XIV's decision to give Cardinal Tagle's full power bring many opportunities, it also imposes significant challenges. Cardinal Tagle, by taking such a central leadership position within the Church, will face resistance, especially from more conservative Church sectors which can be averse to rapid and deep changes. The pressure to modernize the Church, maintaining tradition and at the same time adapting to contemporary issues, will be a delicate balance. Tagle will need to navigate with skills through these tensions, seeking to reconcile the various points of view within the Catholic Church. At the same time, he will have great opportunities to leave his mark in the Church, modernizing administration and promoting a deeper dialogue on social issues such as poverty, gender inequalities, and the environment. Tagle already has a history of promoting social justice, and with this power, it can implement important reforms that will bring benefits not only to the Church, but to the communities around the world. His work as a progressive leader can be a catalyst for a new era in the Catholic Church, where social actions are equally important than spiritual doctrine. Pope Leo XIV's decision to grant total power to Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle can be seen as a visionary movement that will shape the future of the Catholic Church. By delegating such authority to a progressive figure as a Tagle, the Pope not only reinforces the idea that the Church should evolve with times, but also establishes the foundations for a legacy of transformation within the ecclesiastical hierarchy. Cardinal Tagle, known for his emphasis on social justice, his commitment to the poorest and his inclusive spirit, is now in a position to lead the Church in a way that connects with the challenges and realities of the 21st century. By placing Tagle in a centralized leading position, Leo XIV reinforces the idea that the Catholic Church must be not only a space of spirituality, but also an active force in social and political change. The greatest opening and decentralization of church power may lead to more efficient and adaptable reorganization, with greater emphasis on collaboration and participation. The legacy of Leo XIV, therefore, will be recognized for the courage to rely on leadership that integrates modernity, faith, and a new form of pastoral action. This will allow the Church to remain a relevant institution, effective and involved in the most pressing social issues in the contemporary world. If you were interested in this story of transformation within the Catholic Church, it is time to reflect on the impact of this historic decision of Pope Leo XIV. The future of the Church is being shaped by leaders such as Cardinal Tagle, whose progressive vision may be the key to the modernization and adaptation of the Church to the challenges of the 21st century. But more than that, this change reminds us that true leadership is based on the confidence, the courage to change, and the responsibility to act wisely and compassion. Now, I want to know your opinion. How do you think Cardinal Tagle's leadership can transform the Catholic Church in the coming years? Leave your comment below and share your ideas with us. If you were impressed by this historic decision, be sure to enjoy the video and subscribe to the channel for more content about the Catholic Church and its most influential figures. And remember, the change begins with leadership, and the leadership that really makes a difference is the courage to follow the path of transformation. If you also believe the future of the Church is in good hands, share this video with your friends and keep following the channel. Let's discuss together and follow this new era in the Catholic Church.